Right. In this lesson, what we're going to do is basically actually the reverse of composition. We're going to take a function that is composed and try to split it back into those two small pieces. The motivation for this, it's a little bit abstract, but ultimately it's a really necessary thing that you have to do if you're planning on taking calculus. Calculus is all about learning rules to deal with simple functions. So a composite function actually isn't very simple. So what we do is we break it into two simpler functions. So we split it apart. And so that's what we're going to do here. We've got this f of x is x plus 4 to the 3. And we're going to try to find two smaller functions, g and h, so that f is g composed with h. So what we'll notice with the notation here, I did deliberately use the kind of bracketed notation, is you'll see that h of x is sort of on the inside of g. And so what we're going to look to do is try to identify h as the thing on the inside. There's a lot of different ways that we could actually split f of x up into two different functions, but there's one very natural way. So we're going to go with that one. So we're going to let h be the inside of f of x. So if I actually go over here and look, I can see there's definitely something that's on the inside with the way that f of x is written. There's brackets, right? And then when there's brackets, there's something inside of brackets. And so naturally that can be our h. So we have this x plus 4 is inside brackets. I apologize if you can hear a cat purring in the background, but that's just what's going to happen right now. So what I'm going to do is let h of x equal x plus 4. I said there's multiple choices, but this one's a pretty good one. It's going to clean this up very nicely for us. And so what I'm going to be able to do from here is actually just make kind of a swap out. So if I actually rewrite this, what we have is my f of x is x plus 4 cubed. That's actually h of x cubed. So what I'm going to do just to make this look a little bit nicer is I'm going to replace the h of x's with actually just like h. So kind of like how we can typically just say y equals f of x. We just say it's this new variable y. I'm going to, just use h to describe h of x. So it's just a little bit of a swap. So what we have then is f of x is, that's actually just h cubed, if I rewrite it like that. So that's what we have. What we want is f of x is g of h of x, which is actually just g of h. And so if we set them equal, what we're going to get is h cubed is g of h. That's our function. We don't need x to be the variable of the function. H is just a placeholder for your input. So this works. This can actually answer our question. So what we would have is my g and h. I have a g of h is h cubed. And then h of x is, what was it, x plus 4. And if you actually look, if we actually plug x plus 4 into my g of h function, if I actually plug the x plus 4 in where the h is, I get x plus 4 cubed. I get the same thing. If you want to clean it back up and rewrite it in terms of just x's, you're totally free to do so. So what we would have is just, again, swap h for x, or just changing a variable. G of x is x cubed, and h of x is x plus 4. But again, you should be able to see that if we shove that x plus 4 into the x, you do get the original f of x expression back out. So either of those will work. Yeah, so that's just generally your strategy. You probably want to identify that inside function first. So whatever's inside brackets or inside an exponent or inside of a square root, something on the inside. It's probably also going to be where your x's are typically for these splitting problems. Yeah, just whatever happens first to x, that's your inside function. The outside function does the rest. One thing I want you to pay attention to, just with the way a lot of the homework questions are asked, technically could have done something silly like this, given some trivial answers. I could have actually just let the inside function be x, and then the outside function does the whole thing. So if I plug x in for x, I still get the same function. It doesn't change. Or the alternative trivial function, I could have actually had x do everything. Sorry, h do everything. And then g of x just basically doesn't do anything. It maps x to itself. So both of those are not answers I would want for these. So typically what I will say in the question is not just find functions, but find non-trivial functions. Generally, the idea or the motivation behind these questions is to take a composite function and reduce it to functions that are not composite anymore. And so if you look at what we get for our results, what we've got is a very straightforward linear function for h, x plus 4, pretty simple. And then a very straightforward power function for g, just x cubed. And there's no combinations or anything. Nothing's getting mashed into something else. So that's what we ultimately want. So this would be probably the best answer. There's other okay answers, but I'd say this would be the best one. All right.